Hailing from Cottage Grove, Minnesota, Kendall Brown is a 6'7" wing weighing 201 pounds with a 6'11" wingspan who played his college ball at Baylor. Let's start on the offensive end. He's a ridiculously efficient scorer inside the arc. This is likely down to the fact that when he attacks, he gets right into the paint, and when he gets to the basket, he's quite the creative finisher. He's more than happy to get up there to dunk these attempts, another factor behind his efficiency. This is a pretty wild finish. He makes a cut from the corner for going up and then under the contest and somehow gets this to fall. This was the most ridiculous one I've seen from him. He gets the ball on the perimeter, fakes the three, and drives into the paint before realizing that that lane isn't open. He doesn't panic though and spins around and flips this craziness into the hoop. He'll also bring out this little runner at times. He is an excellent backdoor cutter. This type of off-ball movement is something NBA teams love to see, and meaning he can have an impact for his team offensively even when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. He's got some speed in the open floor too, and he runs out hard. He proved to be a substantial threat on the break, and wasn't afraid to get out there and stretch his legs. Now let's talk about the three-point shooting. Brown is not a substantial shooter. Not only did he not shoot the three ball well enough, he didn't shoot that many at all. His shot is quite square and stiff. His free throw percentage isn't amazing, but it's decent. Still, I wouldn't be very confident in his shooting going forward. It could come around, I just wouldn't bet on it. When it comes to his passing, I'd say there's definitely more hope. His assists per game and rate aren't particularly high, but there's some potential there that I think could be unlocked as he develops. Here he makes as if he's going up for the three, but sees the paint is wide open and instead opts to dump it to Jonathan Chamba, and that's an easy bucket. These kickouts to the corners will be particularly appealing to scouts. Here he takes his man on and gets to the paint before displaying good vision and execution to get this pass off to the corner shooter. On this one he's able to beat his man with some nice little bounce on his first step in the opposite direction, and the pass was a little more open this time. The fact that he's able to identify and make these passes on the move is really encouraging and helps diversify his offensive threat and boost his value as an on-ball creator. He's also shown that he can make these passes in the air off jumps, something he may have to do more of in the NBA when he encounters bigger and longer defenders. On the other side of the coin, he finds himself stationary on this one and is still able to make and execute the read. He's also shown that he can be adaptable with his passes. This time the open shooter is not in the corner but rather at the top of the key, but he still manages to find him. He gets this one off out of a pick and roll scenario. While I don't think he'll be a high-level pick-and-roll operator, I do think it's encouraging that this could be something to build off of. He's shown to have some pretty active hands in the perimeter. Here he pounces on a little bit of a loose dribble by J.E. Davison and turns it into a break, going the other way. He's very versatile as a defender and will often switch on to multiple guys of different sizes throughout possessions. He gets in the way of passing lanes like this as well. Brown scored just over 20 points in a largely supportive role at Baylor. We spoke about his almost hyper efficiency inside the arc, and that has contributed to his 63% true shooting percentage. His 64% shooting from 2 is very good, and his 34% shooting from 3 is not terrible. The volume of threes was really low though. His free throw percentage also wasn't too good. His assist numbers are alright, but his turnovers could be a bit of a concern. His steal plus block numbers are really good though, and project him as an impactful defender at the next level. Kendall's draft stock has been on a steady decline for pretty much the entire season. His lack of aggression on the offensive end has people, including myself, really worried. He was really hesitant to take shots, let alone create many of them for himself. The idea of Kendall Brown is still really intriguing though. A super athletic 3-and-D wing who doesn't require the ball to be effective. That result is still on the table, but questions about his shooting are warranted. His efficiency was below average, but that's not the real concern. His sheer lack of volume and huge reluctance to take threes was a bigger worry. He's gonna need some time, but if the right team gets a hold of him and they're committed to his development and think about what he can become in 2 to 3 years from now, they could have a serious player on their hands. A realistic floor for him would be a situational defensive player who isn't a major shooting threat but can attack in transition and keep things moving. A realistic ceiling would be a strong and bouncy wing who's a versatile defender who can handle the most difficult perimeter defensive assignment, knock down shots, and play smart offensive basketball.